The cookie that almost raised my blood pressure. I almost broke my promise over one cookie. But then I saw the numbers on my blood pressure monitor this morning. And everything changed. 7 days ago, I began a sugar-free diet. Not for weight loss. Not even for diabetes. But for my heart. You see, I've lived most of my senior years with high blood pressure. Doctors told me it was normal for my age. They gave me pills. I took them. But I never asked what else I could do, until it almost cost me everything. My doctor once said, "Sugar doesn't just rot your teeth, it weakens your blood vessels." And now, here I am, 7 days into cutting sugar. Not completely. But enough to make a difference. This video isn't about willpower. It's about what sugar really does to the heart of a 76-year-old man. Do you know what happens to blood pressure after just 7 days off sugar? I didn't, until I tried it myself. Stay till the end. You might just rethink everything in your kitchen. I used to think sugar was innocent. How could something so small, so sweet, be dangerous? For most of my life, I didn't even think about it. Cereal in the morning. Juice at lunch. A little dessert at night. That's how I grew up. That's how I survived raising 3 kids and teaching 9th grade history for 32 years. I didn't think I had a problem, until the night my chest felt like it was caving in. I thought it was indigestion. But the ER doctor said 4 words that changed my life. You had a heart attack. That night, lying in a hospital bed with wires taped to my chest, I asked the cardiologist. Why me? I don't smoke. I'm not overweight. I even walk every morning. He looked at me gently, but directly. Mr. Bennett, your fasting glucose has been elevated for years. And sugar, silent, sneaky sugar, isn't just about diabetes. It hardens arteries. It fuels inflammation. It breaks your heart, quietly. Let me pause here. Because if you think sugar is only about blood sugar, you're missing the bigger danger. Sugar damages your heart before it ever touches your pancreas. Stick with me, I'll show you the exact test my doctor used to catch it, before it was too late. I went home from the hospital with a folder full of instructions and warnings. But one chart stood out. It was from the AHA, the American Heart Association. It showed that elevated fasting glucose, even without diabetes, increases the risk of a heart attack by 80%. 80%. I was shocked. And I was angry at myself for ignoring the signs. For brushing off the fatigue. The mood swings. The afternoon crashes. The craving for sweets after dinner. Those weren't just aging. They were symptoms. So I started documenting. Not for anyone else, just for me. Here's what I wrote in my first 7 days. Day 1. Felt confident. Skipped sugar at breakfast. No cravings yet. Victory lap. Day 2. Mild headache in the afternoon. Reached for fruit. Felt proud. Day 3. Tired. Snapped at my daughter. Regret. Day 4. Craved soda badly. Almost gave in. Instead, went for a walk. Day 5. Noticed I woke up clear-headed. Slept straight through the night. Day 6. Had energy all morning. Still missed dessert. Day 7. The cookie moment. You already know how that went. But something else happened by day 7. I didn't just feel better. I felt hopeful. Because I started seeing patterns. I saw that every day I made a tiny choice, and every tiny choice added up. That's when I created the 30-day sugar-free tracker. It's simple. It takes 1 minute a day. And if you want to try this challenge too, there's a free download in the description. Also, we have a little Facebook group, just a few folks like me trying to do better, one bite at a time. I'll link that too. For years, I believed I was fine. I wasn't overweight. I didn't have diabetes. I walked every day. I even refused soda and drank black coffee, no sugar. So when I ended up in the hospital with chest pain, I thought it was something else. Acid reflux. Or just stress. But the cardiologist came in with my blood work. He looked me in the eye and said, "Your fasting glucose has been elevated for years, Mr. Bennett. And your arteries, they've paid the price." That shook me. I'd never been warned. My doctor had never made a big deal about fasting glucose. So I asked, "What exactly is fasting glucose?" He smiled and said, "It's your blood sugar level after 8 hours of not eating. It's the clearest window into how your body handles sugar, without the distraction of recent meals. And if it's too high, even a little bit, over time, it starts to rot you from the inside." You might be wondering right now, what's my fasting glucose level? And how do I even find out? Stay with me. I'll tell you the exact number to watch for, and how to check it at home, just like I do every morning now. He pulled up a study from the American Heart Association on his tablet. I remember it vividly, a 2021 report showing that seniors with fasting glucose above 100 milligrams per deciliter had up to 3x higher risk of stroke and heart attack, even without being diabetic. He said, "You don't need full-blown diabetes to suffer the consequences. Sugar doesn't wait for a diagnosis to start damaging." I sat there speechless. All those times I ignored my sleepiness after lunch, the brain fog, the 9 p.m. sugar cravings, I thought that was just getting old. Turns out, it was insulin resistance. My cells weren't responding well to insulin anymore, so sugar lingered longer in my blood, silently corroding my arteries. And here's the kicker, this damage isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It whispers, until one day, it collapses everything. That was my day. That was my wake-up call. So now, every morning before coffee, I prick my finger, and I write down that number. It's not a punishment. It's not fear. It's power, the power to see what's happening before it's too late. And if you don't know your number yet, don't worry. In the description below, I've linked a simple one-page PDF. Know Your Number, Fasting Glucose Tracker. You can print it out, keep it by your nightstand, and start tomorrow. You don't need to be perfect. But you do need to be informed. Because what you don't track, you can't fix. I've never been a numbers guy. I taught history, not math. But one number changed everything for me. 108. That was my fasting glucose level the morning before I started this challenge. At the time, I didn't know what that meant. It didn't sound scary. Not 200. Not 300. Just 108. But as my cardiologist told me, even small elevations over time create large damage. It's not about the peak, it's about the pattern. So I tracked. Quietly, honestly, every morning. Day 1, 108. Foggy mind. Slight chest pressure. Craved sweets by 10 a.m. Day 3, 101. Headache reduced. Still tired. Mood irritable. Day 5, 96. Clearer focus. Woke up without an alarm. First time in months. Day 7, 92. That final number, 92, hit me harder than I expected. It wasn't just a drop. It was proof. Proof that my body hadn't given up on me, even if I had ignored it for years. Let me ask you something. If your body is trying to heal, and you just need to get out of its way, wouldn't you want to know? Because you can track this at home, like I do, in 60 seconds a day. I looked back at my tracker sheet. Just 7 entries. 1 row per day. But to me, it felt like a novel, a short story of pain, hope, and reversal. I remembered what Dr. Patel, my cardiologist, told me when he saw the change. Mr. Bennett, this is metabolic momentum. When you remove daily sugar stress, the body doesn't just rest, it repairs. 1 week makes more difference than most people realize. So now I share this not as an expert, but as a survivor. As a man who once thought it's too late, and now wakes up feeling young again. You don't need fancy tech. You don't need apps. You need a pen, a sheet, and a moment of honesty. In the description, I've linked the same PDF tracker I use. Print it. Use it. And share it with someone you care about. Because the numbers don't lie. But more importantly, they don't quit on you until you quit on them. Let me take you back to day 4. It was 9:42 p.m. I had finished dinner hours earlier. I wasn't hungry. But there I was, standing in front of the fridge, staring at an old slice of apple pie. And I wasn't thinking about health. I was thinking about escape. That pie, in that moment, represented something deeper. Comfort. Familiarity. Control. I reached for it. But then I stopped, not because I was strong, but because I was curious. Why was this craving so strong when I wasn't even hungry? The next day, I asked Dr. Patel. Craving isn't just about food, he said. It's about dopamine. Sugar spikes it fast, faster than most drugs. It gives your brain a quick hit of feel good, and the more often you feed that loop, the more dependent it becomes. That hit me hard. I wasn't weak, I was wired. Have you ever found yourself eating something sweet, even while telling yourself not to? There's a reason. And it's not a lack of willpower. It's neurochemistry. Stay with me. I'll show you how to break the loop, without guilt or shame. Dr. Patel explained the cycle. 1. Trigger, stress, fatigue, loneliness. 2. Craving, your brain whispers, just a little sugar will help. 3. Dopamine spike, you feel better, for a moment. 4. Crash, your blood sugar drops. 5. Repeat, your body now needs another hit. And this isn't just theory. The AHA published a 2020 guideline showing that sugar addiction behaves similarly to nicotine addiction in older adults. The neural pathways involved? Almost identical. I was shocked. But I also felt relief. Because if it's a pattern, it can be rewired. So I started mapping my triggers. I used the craving log I made. Each time I felt the urge to snack, I wrote. What time was it? What was I feeling? What did I need? You'd be surprised. Half the time, it wasn't hunger. It was boredom. Anxiety. The need for a hug, or a memory. And once I saw that, I could respond differently. Instead of sugar, I'd call a friend. Take a walk. Drink tea. It didn't always work. But the loop got weaker. By day 7, the craving still came. But I didn't believe it was a lie anymore. And now, I feel like I've reclaimed my brain. If you want to try the craving log, it's in the same tracker PDF, page 2. Just print it out. Keep it by your nightstand. Remember, you're not broken. You're just trained. And that means you can retrain. There's something nobody tells you about health transformations. It's not just hard. It's lonely. Especially when you're over 60, your kids are grown. Your friends are busy. Your habits are decades old. So when I started this sugar-free journey, I felt like I was doing it in a bubble. I had my tracker. I had my glucose meter. But I didn't have someone to text when I wanted to quit. That changed on day 6. I got a message from a woman named Linda in our Facebook group. Just saw your post, Mr. Bennett. I'm on day 6 too. Thought about eating a donut today. Instead, I drank lemon water and read your update. Thank you. That broke me in the best way. Because I realized, this isn't just my story. It's our story. We are not meant to heal in isolation. And according to the CDC, seniors who participate in health-focused social communities are 42% more likely to sustain behavior changes beyond 30 days. That's why I built the tools I wish I had when I started. You don't need a huge following. You just need one person walking beside you. Join our little circle. There's a link below. And if you're shy, start with the tracker. I call it the 30-day sugar-free tracker. It's simple. Just 2 minutes a day. One number. One reflection. But it gives you something powerful, a sense of progress. And if you want, you can post your daily update in our Facebook group. It's private, supportive, no non-judgmental. Just folks like you and me. People like George, who shared. Day 10, my wife just said I snore less. I haven't had sugar in 10 days. Never thought I'd make it past 3. Or Margaret, who wrote. I printed out the tracker, taped it to my fridge. That visual reminder saved me on day 5 when I was about to cave. These aren't stories from influencers. They're from neighbors. From real people, walking the same uphill path. And yes, it is uphill at first. But it flattens out when someone reaches back and says, keep going. I'm here too. So if you're still unsure, just start. Download the tracker. Join the group. Or just leave a comment saying, I'm in. Because together, we go farther. Let me be honest with you. I didn't think this would matter so much. I thought I was doing a little experiment. Track my glucose. See what happens. But sometime between day 4 and day 7, something shifted. It wasn't just about blood sugar anymore. It was about how I felt when I woke up. How I didn't need a nap after lunch. How my knees didn't ache the same way. And it hit me, this wasn't a sugar detox. It was a time machine. Every day I skipped sugar, felt like a day I won back. Not just in energy, but in the future. Dr. Patel told me, Mr. Bennett, if you keep this going, even 4 days a week, you're likely to gain 5 to 10 healthy years. Not just longer life, but a better life. Walking life. Laughing life. And I believed him. Not because he wore a white coat. But because I could feel it in my bones. So here's what I want you to do. Don't commit to 30 days. Not yet. Just try for 3 days. 3 days. No added sugar. Measure your fasting glucose each morning. Then look at the number. And listen to your body. If nothing changes, fine. You tried. But if something does, even a flicker, then maybe, just maybe, that's your second chance knocking. I've linked everything you need below. PDF tracker. Community group. Full playlist of my sugar-free journey. Just start. Not for me. For the years you haven't lived yet. Before I let you go, I want to share something my late wife once told me. She said, you don't become healthy by trying harder, you become healthy by becoming someone new. Back then, I didn't understand. Now, I do. I used to be the cookie guy. The one with sugar in his coffee. Donuts in the glove box. The guy who said, one bite won't kill me. But 7 days ago, I decided to become someone else. Someone who measures. Someone who reflects. Someone who chooses. You don't need to become perfect. You just need to become aware. And that awareness, that's what changes everything. So as we end this video, here's what you can do. Download the tracker, link in the description. It's free. It's simple. It's yours. Join the community, you don't have to do this alone. Thousands are already walking beside you. Watch the playlist, follow my journey day by day. Laugh. Learn. Reflect. Comment, I'm in, if you're ready to start. I read every single one. And if no one has told you this today, I believe in you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing to try. Take care of your heart. Take care of your days. Because your days become your years. See you in the next one.